week in MLB The Show 22, we got a schedule update to go along with the most recent event, and it brought some pretty sad news to those of y'all still playing MLB The Show 22, like myself, as content in this game is officially coming to an end, and it's coming to an end a lot sooner than it had in previous games. I know a lot of people, myself included, are disappointed in this fact, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what could be next. Let's chat about this event that came out as well. So first off, looking at the schedule, of course, we can see we have the new event, the AL versus NL, pitchers versus hitters, with Smoltz, Mattingly, and Fergie Jenkins as the reward, which are going to go down as three of, if not the three last cards that we're going to get in this game, which we're looking for a way to send the game off. If we're looking for the grand finale of the fireworks, so to speak, I think these fireworks were duds. I think they went up in the air and there was no explosion and everyone went home on the 4th of July very, very upset. Now, I will say we have the holiday tradition coming on the 22nd, which in the past has been a card. Last year, we got the Bryce Harper. So maybe we're getting that again, redeem something special from Coach and San Diego Studio in the show shop. That's likely going to be a singular finest card. Maybe that's the JT Realmuto or the Devers that a lot of people are looking for. But then that's going to be it. Looking past that holiday tradition, we have the Forever event coming on January 6th, which in previous years, after that Forever program would drop, we would continue to get new events. Last year, of course, we had a couple events here and there, including that one with Aaron Judge and Vlad Jr. That was real popular. Those finest cards. Going back to even MLB The Show 20, the Forever event didn't come until the middle of February, and we continued to get cards through events up into that time. Forever event in 21 not coming out until the middle of March, even as we continue to get players in the game, even if it's slowed down some. However, here in MLB The Show 22 on January 6th, the Forever event starts. And honestly, for me to even make matters worse, you can't even use any player in that event. It's any batters versus common pitchers. So if you want to utilize the Forever event to parallel progress some pitchers you were working on, just be able to use out some different pitchers, you're not going to be able to do that. So some of the pitchers that you've grinded all year for, you're not going to be able to even use in the Forever event. I know for me, I had some content planned around the Forever event that I can't really do anymore, so I'm gonna have to make some workarounds for that. But what's most disappointing is if MLB The Show 23 isn't coming out until April, maybe late March, we're looking at 3 to 4 months of no content in this game. Not a singular card drop, which honestly is disappointing. I love this game. I want to have more content. I want to continue to have reasons to play this game. And that's a lot of where my enjoyment comes from, is like building out my team, fleshing out my lineup, grinding for new cards that I don't have. And with none of that for 4 months, it does take away my desire to play the game a lot. Obviously, a lot of people just enjoy playing ranked seasons, and of course, content is going to slow down whenever we get to this point in the year. But I hate the idea that content has to fully abruptly end and we have nothing to do for 3 to 4 months. I find that really lame, and regardless of what other people are playing, there's still a core base and audience playing MLB The Show 22. I don't know what goes into fully getting cards in the game or not, but I can't imagine it would be impossible to release a couple more finest here and there, a couple retro finest, have another BR World Series reward, have some more events going on, just to have something to encourage people to grind for. Making matters slightly worse is not only is content ending sooner than it had in the past, these final event rewards are, well, I'll let y'all look for yourselves. So we got Fergie Jenkins with a 101 hits per 9, 118 walks per 9, 4-seam slider, sinker, curveball, forkball. The 101 hits per 9 in December is a little bit rough. Same can be said when you look at Don Mattingly. 73 power versus left in December is not going to matter too much. A lot of these end up being binder fodder, maybe not even theme teams. Mattingly may not even make the Yankees theme team if you're doing a Yankees theme team. And then, of course, finally, we got John Smoltz here at 30 wins. And none of these cards are awful. They're not terrible. And I don't think they're shouldn't be event rewards, but getting 30 wins for John Smoltz, coming in with 102 hits per 9 and 100 walks per 9 in December. And I could find 30 better cards with way less time spent for way less stubs that honestly have probably been out for months by now. It makes it a little bit difficult to grind for. Maybe a Smoltz was your 10 or 15 win reward, and here we had a finest card, a retro finest card that was better. It could have made things a little bit better, but instead, our final event reward of the year for getting 30 wins is this John Smoltz. Now, of course, I put together an event lineup that has him in there, so we're going to play with these guys a little bit while chatting about some of the things I'd like to see done differently for in-game content, and we're going to chat about some guys that maybe got ignored entirely for getting a better card, or maybe they had a 99, where they could have gotten an even better card while we're doing it. Along with this, I made an event lineup of some of the worst 99s we've gotten all year that are eligible for this event. Of course, we have Don Mattingly, Sean Murphy. It wouldn't be one without the second half Ken Griffey Jr. Even if they're maybe worse 99 center fielders, we had to have Ken Griffey Jr. on here there to go back to that. We got Joe Carter. We got Mike Moustakas, David Fletcher coming in with all 65 power to both sides of the plate. Minnie Minoso and Ray Durham. This will be a great time, I'm sure. All right. You know, maybe John Smoltz will surprise me here. Maybe there's some saving value. Okay. No. Okay. You literally can't make that up. You like, I can't. Like, you can't make that up. I couldn't have tried. And then the bunt dance, the immediate bunt dance, it's not that bad of a pitch. I mean, I guess it caught a little much of the plate. But you literally, you can't make that up at all. I couldn't have done that if I tried to. Jesus Christ. One thing we do know about MLB The Show 23 is that it has already been certified, which is at least some good sign. Now, how much does that mean? What does that certification mean? Basically means just the game's in a playable state and essentially done. In the next couple of months, are going to be built for a lot of bug fixes, finalizing content, all those sort of things, which shouldn't be too surprising. I mean, for a game that is a yearly release, it's not going to have too much unplayability even at its early stages, right? Because you're just building off the previous game. Even if you are making substantial changes, you're still building off of that previous game. So it being in a playable state to where it can be certified doesn't mean too much. Now, it did get done quicker than the MLB The Show 21 or the 22 certification, which could mean we get a slightly earlier release date. Obviously, with MLB The Show 21, we had the mid-April release date due to the switch over into next year, which was pretty normal. And then this year, we had the April 1st release date, a little bit earlier than that. But going back in time, we have had games released in the March, usually the end of March, but even MLB The Show. Oh, make that double play, make that double play, make that double play. Let's go. Okay, Smoltz, we got out of it with one run. Back to what I was saying, though, even MLB The Show 20, it released in March 13th of 2020, that early March release date. And this year, we have the World Baseball Classic that starts on March 8th. Could we be getting an MLB The Show game that has World Baseball Classic integrations to it as a way to somewhat promote the event itself? Obviously run by MLB. They probably had a vested interest in utilizing the game to promote the World Baseball Classic. And so we could be seeing an earlier March release. Don Mattingly. Wow, that's Donnie Baseball right there, folks. I mean, that's not that bad of a swing. But we could be seeing an early release of the game because of that as a way to use and promote and market for the World Baseball Classic. I wouldn't be surprised to see that in the slightest. And that would help make sense for a little bit earlier of an ending to this game cycle. We had the Forever event that started earlier. We had the Forever program that started earlier. If all that's leading to a game that releases 2, 3, 4 weeks earlier than the previous iteration of a game, well, it kind of starts to add up a little bit and make a little bit more sense and makes it a little bit more palatable to have this bit of a dry spell in content. Griffey, hey, the better Griffey, some might say. Yo, second half 99 Griffey tying it up. Let's get it. Okay, yeah, you know what? A little no doubter. Okay, the first home run with 99 Griffey. Okay. Now, even if this game does release early March due to the World Baseball Classic, that would be great. I would love that. I would be all for the game coming out in that time. We're still looking at 2 or more months without any content in the game. And honestly, I hate that it just gets dropped off like that. There's still guys that could definitely get cards. I mean, even guys who have 99s could be getting other cards. I mean, right off the top of my head, I could rattle off a couple. A guy like Chipper Jones, he had that Silver Slugger card. He could have gotten a better card than that. He could have gotten a Retro Finest card. We have Player of the Month, Rafael Devers, but we're lacking a Finest Rafael Devers. Maybe that's Tuesday. Maybe that's what we're getting. 2 other guys I thought were for sure going to get upgrades were Kenley Jansen and Frank Thomas, because every other Day 1 Live Series Collection reward that was a divisional league, and then, of course, Randy Johnson, they all got better cards. Clemente, Randy, you go down into the divisions even, Michael Young, Jacoby Ellsbury, Ray Durham. I don't know if he was the Division 1, but Ray Durham got a better card All those divisional guys, Mike Mussina got a better card. They all got better cards, but Frank Thomas and that Kenley Jansen. And Kenley usually always gets that in-game 99 card, and Frank is usually a guy that gets maxed out 125 odds in his MVP card. He did it this year. I thought for sure they were saving that for Retro Finest, and then we just don't get either of those guys. This John Smoltz is just, it's not a good time. It's not a good time at all. Maybe Fergie will do better next game. We'll see. We'll see if Fergie does, you know, okay. Wait, bait him? Wait, come on, Mini. Oh, dang it. I thought we had the cannon for a second. Another guy who I thought for sure was going to get a better card. Willie Mays. I mean, yes, Willie Mays has a 99, but nobody can look at the Takashi Willie Mays and say, yep, that's Willie Mays. Like, that's in-game Willie Mays, because it's not. There's so much room for that card to be better, and just no Retro Finest for him. A guy like Pedro could easily got a Retro Finest. A lot of our 2022 Finest have way better hits per 9. They're just a way better card than what that Pedro was. And honestly, kind of 2 years in a row where Pedro gets shafted a little bit. He was a better card this year for sure than he was in 21, but he seemed like a shoo-in to get that Pedro Finest, to finally get that insanely dominant card. I feel like he deserves, in my opinion, the most dominant pitcher of all time. Okay, hey, you know what, Mini? You hit it hard. That's all we asked for. We just asked for hard hits. You know, I know they most likely got to go right at somebody, but we asked for hard hits. Yo, honestly, Spade Durham's not a bad card. This Space Franchise Ray Durham we got here, it's actually not a bad little card. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Another two guys I'd love to have seen get better cards. One, Home Run Derby Soto. You know, can he get too much better than that? I think he can. You know, we've had better Soto cards before. He could have gotten some more fielding. Could have gotten a little bit more contact. That Home Run Derby Soto card is a really, really good card. So that's being a little bit greedy. But in that same vein of young stars, Ronald Acuna. There's no 99 Ronald Acuna this year. Even last year we had one after he got hurt. It was a little disappointing as the year went on. I think he could have gotten a better one. But this year we just get no Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean, one of the most electric players in the game that everybody loves. And our best Acuna is it his face of the, it's his face of the franchise, isn't it? I think, if I'm forgetting, I'll have it up on the screen. But I think the best Acuna right now in MLB The Show 22, arguably one of the most electric young players in baseball, you know, a face of baseball, is a 90 overall card that was available day one. Kyle Tucker, oh my God. He absolutely sent that ball. But like, that's absurd to me. Absolutely biased as well, but Nathaniel Lowe, please. Silver Slugger first baseman, we can't give him a better card. We can't give my man a 99. He going out and winning a Silver Slugger with Don Mattingly to pop up. Don Pop-Up Mattingly is what they call him. I mean, Nathaniel Lowe winning a Silver Slugger. We can't get him a 99, though. You know, something nice and juicy. Carlos Correa just goes and signs, you know, a mega deal. The likes of which, you know, we haven't seen in ages with this free agent market. Well, I mean, we had Corey Seager who got a massive deal as well. But, you know, outside of that, I mean, Correa just went and signed this mega deal. And his best card, I think, is his 98 Player of the Month card. I think that is the best Carlos Correa that we have. No 99 card. I mean, he could have gotten a finest card just for how well he, I mean, he had a good year. I think it put up somewhere around 5.5 WAR. And his best card's coming in with a 98 Player of the Month card. Honestly, the list goes on and on. I mean, Lou Gehrig, he had his prime card. Could have gotten another one there. Even like a guy like Mookie Betts, he got that lightning card. That's a great card. I love that card. Don't get me wrong. But like, could he still get a retro finest that people would be excited about? Would be a little bit better. Yeah. Trey Turner. Could Trey Turner get... dude, they could re-release the Trey Turner finest from last year, and that would be electric. Again, postseason Trey Turner is great. I love him. He's awesome. 2021 finest Trey Turner would be an upgrade over that, and like, I throw him in my lineup above that 100%. Dibble, you son of a gun, Rob Dibble. You son of a gun, Rob Dibble. And honestly, like, I think you could even expand it to, I don't want to say obscure guys, but you know, not your top tier guys, you know, a Shade Bieber, Anthony Rendon, Christian Yelich, you know, players like that we easily could get them a nice cards, but they just kind of get ignored at this point of the year. And it's just kind of like an understood, you know, hey, we're done with content. It's over. Even if there's more cards that could have been released, it's not going to happen. If you're the biggest Brewers fan in the world, well, you have that top snout Christian Yelich. You better enjoy that one. Not Mattingly lefty versus righty is about to be like the worst experience of my entire life. I'm not gonna lie. We're going against Randy right here. This is gonna suck. Come on, Don. Show him something, baby. That was the only outcome right there. That was the only outcome that was possible. Now, all these names I bring up of, you know, guys who maybe could have gotten better cards, I don't want that to be viewed as necessarily complaining, but just to the point of like, there are more cards we could have gotten, even in just our traditional card types. Like, there's more content that could have happened. We could have continued to got, you know, an event every 1 to 2 weeks. You know, a ranked season and BR refresh with new players in once a month, right? So if we're looking at a 3-month time period, and we're looking at 3 BR and 3 ranked seasons update, 6 cards total, right? There's 6 cards they could have released between now and the new game to continue to have ranked seasons, BR guys in there, a couple events even there. Maybe even bring back something like Run It Back with some of those cards as well. Or, you know, the in-game in MLB The Show 23 is, I'd really like to see some more, you know, experimentation, I guess I'll say. Some more things that are fun and exciting. Lefty with second half. King Griffey Jr. was never going to go well. Let's see what Fergie Jenkins got real quick, though. No, I mean, dude, okay, you actually can't make that up. First batter with John Smoltz, home run. First batter with Fergie Jenkins, no doubter. One thing, though, I'd like to see specifically for the end game in MLB The Show 23, I wouldn't like to see this early on in the game because, admittedly, what I'm about to say, you know, it can get a little cheesy, but at the end of the day, we're playing a fantasy baseball game where I currently have Fergie Jenkins pitching against Bo Bichette. So full realism is out the window. I mean, even when we look at like 2022 finest cards, those cards are way better than their real life representation. I mean, for example, a guy like Logan Webb, I think has 119 hits per 9 on his card. Logan Webb's a fine pitcher. Fergie Jenkins is coming in with 101. Pedro Martinez has 109. There's not an argument that Logan Webb is better at limiting hits as a pitcher than Pedro Martinez, but for his card, it does. Yo, shout out my man Fergie with the strikeout. All that to be said, a lot of realism and statistical basis goes out the window, especially as we get later on in this game with finest and things like that. And I'd like to see that expanded upon. I think there's some cool card types they could do that would be new and fresh and exciting, even if they're not truly realistic. At the end of the day, we're getting down into the December, January, February months. One, there's a limited player base as it is. A lot of us already have all the cards. Being able to have something new and fun to unlock and use. And hey, if you don't like that kind of card type, you don't have to utilize it. And it could be a real positive, especially if the alternative is getting nothing at all. For example, I know this is something that they do in 2K. You come out with a glitch series, which is basically where you take a player that lacks in a certain department, a certain attribute. For example, a guy like Yasmani Grandal. Very slow. He's 0 speed. He's incredibly slow, one of the slowest players in baseball. But suddenly, he gets a 99 card where he doesn't have 0 speed on that card. Maybe it's not 99, but even if it's 60, 70, 80 speed, he becomes glitched out and obtains that speed. You could say the same for somebody like Joey Gallo, maybe. He keeps his power numbers, but all of a sudden now he has, 115 contact to go with it. Are those realistic cards? Of course not. Not at all. But a lot of cards in this game already aren't realistic. And again, it would be something fun. I would enjoy going after those cards as long as they aren't inherently better than other options in the game. I think it balances out as well. David Fletcher getting a hit. What an absolute legend. With how many good cards we have in the game, it's not as if, any of those cards would be like, oh, you have to start this guy. If you don't, you're going to be at some competitive disadvantage. We wouldn't want to have that. But even if you have that to some degree, at the end of the day, it's December. And so the competitiveness of the game, going into January and February, last 2 months of the game, that's going to go down quite a bit. Minimoso's battling? Oh my God. Who's that at third base? Come on. Maybe the one that could push the boundaries a little bit more, but out of position cards, especially with how many guys coming up play different positions or had played different positions at one point. I think it could be awesome. I mean, a Kyle Schwarber, obviously he's had cards with catcher before. That's fair. Grow up. Come on. Again, though, a guy like Kyle Schwarber, he's had cards that can catch before. He's gotten out of his eligibility for catcher because SDS uses a 3-year window from when a card's released. So, he's scoring on that, isn't he? He held him? Wait, but he's going to 2? Big brain, actual. Big brain actual. But this actually is a 3-year window. And since Schwarber has caught, I think 4 years ago now, his new cards that represent this year. Oh, I got. No. Got him. Okay. Woo, we get the out. His new cards now don't have that catcher ability. So give us the Schwarber that catcher. Kenley Jansen came up as a catcher. Bryce Harper has caught before. You know, throw those guys at catcher, or some outfielders that have played infield. Jacob deGrom, obviously, he's known for playing shortstop in high school. Give me a Jacob deGrom card that can play shortstop. That's fun, right? Obviously, it's not realistic, but they release that tomorrow. That would be something that would get people back playing the game 100% if you could grind for a card like that and use that in your lineup. It's something new that we haven't done when we've been getting a lot of the same players, legends, and cards in MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty for quite some time. It'd be something different. Another one that's a little bit less extreme, I'm surprised doesn't happen, like an off-season mover set. Now, to be fair, I don't know if there's any maybe rights usage issues of that. You know what I mean? People have to sign the new contract, and how does that work with getting the rights and being able to have a picture of them in the uniform? I'm not sure, but I feel like something could be done there where, you know, a guy like Jacob deGrom signs this massive deal with Texas while he gets a Rangers base card that's a 99 overall. Carlos Correa signs this massive deal with the Giants. He gets his 99 card, but it's for the Giants. Same with Trey Turner. Dansby Swanson just signed with the Cubs. Give him a cracked out Cubs card to highlight some of those off-season movers, and that's just another way to put out content. You could have that be a part of its own program where every time a free agent signs, that program's being updated within the next couple days. Doesn't have to be immediate, obviously, because it takes time to release that content, but you know, the program updates every few days as people sign, and you're able to go and earn those new cards. That would be a fun little addition to keep some semblance of life and the flame going in the off-season. And you could do a similar thing with future stars as well. Not necessarily free agents, but guys that had massive jumps this year. When the game starts, they probably have a set. They probably have a set number of future stars that they're looking at adding to the game. Just our biggest prospects. They probably have those guys kind of pinned in already. Like, these guys are going to get future stars. You know, our top 10 prospects are Gabriel Moreno's, yada, yada, yada. We're going to give these guys future stars. But then we have guys during the season that all of a sudden climb up these boards in a massive way. A guy like Jackson Churio going into the year was, you know, in the top 75, you know, kind of the 60s. Some even had him outside the top 100. And now in Baseball America, he's considered one of the top 5 prospects in all of baseball because he had this absolutely incredible year. A guy like Evan Carter as well, you know, 20-year-old in the Rangers farm system. He's climbed a ton in the last year, going from outside the top 100 to the top 50s, top 30s, I think, even in one publication. Reward those with some more juiced up future star cards as well. And I have a future star round 2, so to speak. And then finally, the card type, as we took this out here, sadly. I mean, I knew as soon as I saw Randy, I knew we were chalk. Finally, though, this is an idea that I posted on Twitter. Shameless plug to my Twitter right here. But what if we took the golden ticket idea from other games? Madden has their golden ticket series, which is huge. It gets the community involved. Everybody gets hyped. Everybody gets excited. It is their grand finale of content. It's their big fireworks show that we're missing here in MLB The Show 22. What if we brought that to MLB The Show 23? It would give us a way to get fan favorite cards that may be missed out. Our Ronald Acuña's, or even some memes like a Terrence Gore. You know, Terrence Gore 99. I'm here for it. I don't care what anybody says. Mondesi 99. Absolutely cracked out. Some of the fans' favorite cards. Joey Gallo would probably be a guy that would be a huge, big, popular golden ticket type of player. And being able to do that and get the community involved, I had the idea of tying it into Twitch drops. So if the community watches, you know, over the course of a month, if the community watches 100,000 hours, that on Twitch as an entire community, that unlocks, you know, 15 golden tickets that then the community gets to vote on. A couple content creators get to pick some with the help of their community. Something like that to get the community involved. Feel like there's a say, feel like there's a choice, some buy-in that's happening there. And we're getting really fun content to go along with it that we can continue to grind for and play with, so we're not stuck out here in the desert, so to speak, 2 to 3 months. A little bit of a ranty video with some mediocre gameplay going on in the background, but I wanted to talk about it will be the show 22 and this kind of wrap up of content. If there's one thing I'll say about SCS though, is that they are really, really perceptive to feedback. We kind of had that content lull after the All-Star break this year, and we had like no supercharges for a while, and people started to speak up about it. People started to speak their mind. People started to be upset that there were no supercharges, and all of a sudden we started getting more supercharges. We had the 99 Griffey. People were really upset about that. People spoke their mind about that, and they made the content after that 99 Griffey came out started to get a whole lot better. Now, fortunately, the ball's kind of being dropped again here, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that the conversations we're having here, the conversations people are having on Twitter and other live streams through other platforms that are happening, hopefully those can be heard, and it could be changes that are made in future years. Let me know y'all's thoughts here on the end of MLB The Show 22 content down in the comment section below. Are you happy with content this year overall? I think leading up to this point, it had been a relative dub. I was thinking we were going to get a longer cycle this year, but unfortunately, wrong on that front. But y'all let me know. I think it's a good content this year. Do y'all like how it's been handled? Do y'all mind it ending at this point in time? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, y'all enjoyed this video. Definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, I'll catch y'all around.